The first question is, a train is running at a speed of 40 km per hour and it crosses a post in 18 seconds. What is the length of the train? Here listen, the speed of the train is 40 km per hour and it crosses a post in 18 seconds. So here the speed is equal to 40 km per hour. So now the time taken to cross a post is 18 seconds. Now by using these two values we have to find out the length of the train. So first what we are going to do is, by using the speed and this time, we are going to find out the distance covered by the train. So here the distance covered will be equal to what? The distance covered will be equal to the speed into time. So here the speed is 40 km per hour, but here the time is in 18 seconds. So since this is in hour and this is in seconds, we are going to convert this kilometer per hour into meter per second. So for that what we have to do? We have to multiply this by 5 by 18. So therefore we get this 40 into 5 by 18 meter per second into this time, which is 18 seconds. So since this is in seconds, we have to convert this into meter per seconds. For that we multiplied this 40 by 5 by 18. So now if we cancel these two values, we get 1. 40 into 5 will be equal to what? 200 meters. So therefore we get the distance covered by the train, which is 200 meters. So here we know that the distance covered by the train 200 meters. So therefore definitely this distance covered must be equal to the length of the train. So here this distance covered is equal to the length of the train. So therefore the length of the train is equal to 200 meters. So this is the required answer. So here the speed and time is given. By multiplying those two values we get the distance covered, and that distance covered by the train is nothing but the length of the train. So hence out of these four options, option C, 200 meters is the correct answer. Now we have the second question. Here the question is, a train 130 meters long travels at a speed of 45 km per hour, crosses a bridge in 30 seconds. The length of the bridge is, here listen, the length of the train is 130 meters and the speed of the train is 45 km per hour, and it crosses the bridge in 30 seconds, and we have to find out the length of the bridge. So let us take the length of the bridge be x meters. So let the length of the bridge be x meters. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to find out the total distance covered. So here the total distance covered will be equal to what? Here listen, the total distance covered will be equal to the length of the train plus the length of the bridge, isn't it? So if we add the length of the train as well as the length of the bridge, then only we will get the total distance covered. So therefore the total distance covered will be equal to 130 plus this x meters. So this is the total distance covered. And now we know that the total time taken by the train is equal to 30 seconds. So now the total time taken is equal to 30 seconds. So we have the total distance covered as well as the total time taken. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to write on the formula for finding the speed. So how can we find out the speed? Here if we divide the distance by the time, then we will get the speed. So here what is the distance? Here the distance covered is 130 plus x meters. So here this 130 plus x divided by what is the time? Here the time taken to cover this 130 plus x meters is 30 seconds. So therefore we get this 130 plus x by 300 meter per second as the speed of the train. But here already the speed of the train is given, which is 45 km per hour. So this implies what? Here instead of the speed we are going to substitute the speed of the train, which is 45 km per hour, and this must be equal to what? This 130 plus x divided by 30 meter per second. But here this is in 45 km per hour and this is in meter per second. So therefore we are going to convert this kilometer per hour into meter per second. For that what we have to do? We have to multiply this 45 by 5 by 18, or else we can multiply this by 10 by 36. So we are going to multiply both the numerator and denominator by 2. So we get this 45 into 5 by 18 into 2 by 2 meter per second will be equal to this 130 plus x divided by 30 meter per second. So now both are in the same units. Now we can easily compare the two values. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to bring this 30 to the opposite side. Then what will we get? Then we will get this 45 into 5 into 2 divided by this 18 into 2 into this 30, and now this is equal to 130 plus x. Now if we cancel these two values, then what will we get? If we divide these two values, we get 15. And again if we cancel these two values by using the common factor 3, then we get 6 into 3 18 and 5 into 3 15. And now If we cancel these two values by using the common factor 2, then we will get 1 by 3, and now this 45 divided by 3 will be equal to 15. So we have this 15 into 5 into 5. So 5 into 5 will be equal to what? 25. So hence we get 15 into this 25 is equal to this 130 plus x. Now our aim is to find out the value of x because that is what the length of the bridge. So therefore we have to bring this 130 to the opposite side. Hence the value of x will be equal to this 15 into 25 minus 130. So now here 15 into 25 will be equal to 375, and this minus 130 will be equal to 245. So therefore the length of the bridge here is 245 meters. So out of these four options, option B, 245 meters is the correct answer. And now the third question is, a train has a length of 150 meters. It is passing a man who is moving at 2 km per hour in the same direction of the train in 3 seconds. So here listen, the length of the train is 150 meters and it passes a man in 3 seconds, and that man is moving at 2 km per hour in the same direction. Now we have to find out the speed of the train. That is what the question. So here the length of the train is equal to 150 meters and the speed of the man is equal to what? The speed of the man is equal to 2 km per hour. But now what we are going to do is we are going to find out the relative speed. So here the relative speed will be equal to, so already we know that if we want to find the speed, then we have to divide the distance by time. So this relative speed will be equal to total distance by time. So here what is the total distance? Here listen, the total distance is 150 kilometer. Here the total distance is 150 meters, and here what is the time? The time here is 3 seconds because this train of length 150 meters has taken 3 seconds to pass that man. So therefore the relative speed will be equal to this distance 150 meters divided by this 3 seconds. So this will be in the unit meter per second. So now if we divide this 150 by 3, then we will get what? Then we will get 50. So therefore the relative speed is equal to 50 meter per second. But here we are going to convert this into kilometer per hour. So we have to multiply this by 18 by 5. So now if we cancel these values, we get 10. So hence 10 into 18 will be equal to 180 km per hour. So this is what? The relative speed. And now what we are going to do is we are going to find out the actual relative speed. So here this relative speed will be equal to speed of the train minus speed of the man, because the man as well as the train are moving in the same direction. So if we want to find out the actual relative speed, then what we have to do? We have to subtract the speed of the man from speed of train. So relative speed will be equal to speed of train minus speed of man. So here what is the speed of train? Here the speed of train is unknown. So let us take this be S alone. So now this minus, what is the speed of man? The speed of man is 2 km per hour. And now what is the relative speed? Here already we found out the relative speed, which is 180 km per hour. So therefore this 180 will be equal to the speed of the train minus 2 km per hour. Now if we bring this minus 2 to the opposite side, it will become plus 2. So hence we get 180 plus 2, which is 182 km per hour, and which is what? The required speed of the train. So hence we get the required answer, which is 182 km per hour. So out of these four options, option A, 182 km per hour is the correct answer.